Alrighty, everyone. Thanks for logging on here tonight. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite for Southern Indiana Weather. Tonight's video update is being sponsored by High Voltage Mobile DJ Services. And Nathan with High Voltage is the only DJ in the area that's a member of the American Disc Jockey Association, and he's got some great things. If you've got a wedding that you're planning and you need a DJ for your reception or a party or any number of things, give Nathan a call. You can call him at 812-630-9465. You can also visit him here on the website, djhighvoltage.com. And you can click over here on the email me button here and you can be connected to him. All right, folks, lots to talk about tonight. We have had some stormy weather today. Well, not really storms, but snow, I should say. And unfortunately, it looks like we are locking into a very cold pattern. We'll time it out here on future radar in just a second, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. First off, I just want to show you real quick, we are under a winter weather advisory for some of our counties. Basically everything here in the Paducah forecast area and the Louisville forecast office. The counties that you see that aren't shaded are from the Indianapolis forecast office. Indianapolis has not issued a winter weather advisory yet. It is possible that they will, but at this time they haven't. So check back here on Southern Indiana Weather's Facebook site, and you can always check, and we'll post those as they come up. But basically, in general, 1 to 3 inches of accumulation really over the next couple of days can be expected, and we'll kind of time it all out for you. Here's the picture right now. Again, it's about 8:25 at night right now, and if we just sort of zoom in, we had some batches of snow that moved off here today, and then we've got just a few light showers and sprinkles really around the area. Not much to speak of. But what you see right up in here is our next clipper that's going to move in overnight tonight, and that is going to dive our way. And actually, it looks like it could bring us a little bit of an impressive amount of snow to us potentially. And then another round on Saturday could even be more impressive. And really, it's just going to be a whole train of clippers come through. And unfortunately, as each one moves through, it's going to just bring a reinforcing shot of Arctic air, so much so that the models are becoming more and more united that we're going to go below zero again by month's end, and I'll show you that here in just a second. Let me show you future radar, and we'll just sort of put this into motion for you. Here we are, and about 8 o'clock. This is about where we are right now, and you see there's those scattered snow showers out in Iowa moving our way. And as we put this into motion, it doesn't look overly impressive on future radar until it gets here, and then this is by 5 a.m. Eastern time, and you see we have some snow showers moving across the area. So as you wake up tomorrow morning, you may have a little bit to clean off of the car and a little bit of problems. We'll have to watch for some slick roadways. That was certainly a problem this afternoon. Remember, these light gray shades are also very light snow showers, so unfortunately it just looks like they're going to stick around for a good long time. Now, as we go through Friday night, we get a little bit of a break from it, but then another system starts to dive down from this part of your screen up here and move in. This is going to be yet another clipper, and if I can get it here right, here you go. Here we are by 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, and you've got it moving in. Here we are by 4 o'clock, it's almost on top of us, and then finally by 7 o'clock it's overtaken us with a pretty, really large swath of snow almost covering the entire state. So as far as accumulations go, this is certainly one that we'll want to watch, and then it moves off pretty quickly and we die down to just some snow shower activities. So winter weather advisory again for tonight all the way through 7 p.m. tomorrow night. I do look for that to be extended. I'll be surprised if it's not, and I would think that eventually the Indianapolis counties would get on board and we would have advisories over the whole area. It really needs to be. All right, how much snow can we expect? What I showed you on the future radar here is the high resolution NAM. It is, and this is the high resolution NAM as well, and it's showing you basically anywhere from a light dusting over parts of the area to upwards of 2, maybe even 3 inches. This is accumulation through Saturday evening, so this would include what we would get overnight tonight, the snow showers tomorrow, and then the heavier batch on Saturday. Again, the one on Saturday looks the heaviest to me, but excuse me. If we have any batch of these that overachieve, we could get some accumulation. For example, the snow showers that we saw this morning, as you went if you watched my video last night, you would have seen that really it didn't look all that impressive, but we had some decent snow accumulations today in some areas. I know Terre Haute picked up a couple of inches, 3 inches around Indianapolis, and most of us in the area picked up a half inch or less in some parts even up to an inch. So minor accumulations, but it was certainly enough to make roads slick today. We can expect that again over the next couple of days. So unfortunately, it looks like it's going to stay with us according to the NAM. Now the NAM's not the only one saying this. Real quick, we'll go through a few others. The Euro is also spitting out some snow totals. Again, these are all by Saturday evening. It's a little bit lighter. It's more in the 1 inch or less category by the Euro model, and you don't get to 2 inches or so until you get from, say, points really from the Bloomington and Greene County and North Columbus area and north in with this. And again, this is additional accumulation on top of what some of these areas have already gotten today. So, we could be looking at another 1 to 2 inches based off of what this says. Canadian is a little bit heavier and brings the 2-inch line a lot closer down to us. And then again, I can show you the GFS. And again, this is a different site, but in general, you've got a dusting up to an inch in the area, and then the 2-inch line here, 3-inch line, 4-inch line, and this is. This actually goes out a little bit further than Saturday. This goes into early next week. So this up in here is actually taking into account another system that would be early next week as well. But for our area, basically you can just understand here, not so much. Don't focus so much on these totals. Those would be wrong through Saturday evening, but these would be right down here. Again, a dusting to an inch with this. So again, the bottom line, no matter how you cut this, is there's going to be some snow. A little bit of model disagreement, yes, but in general, I think it's pretty safe to say that we could end up with, again, 1 to 3 inch total snow accumulation as we go throughout this, and I think that's pretty well a good estimate on what we can expect. All right, let's time this out and just give you a little bit of a picture of the extended outlook. Here's the snow as we have it. This is pretty much right now. You've got the low pressure here moved to our north. Cold front that's moving through tonight, that's going to bring a reinforcing shot of snow. Remember, anything above the blue line that falls here is going to be all snow. And we've got an upper level low sort of moving in along with this reinforcing shot of the cold front. And so we get a little bit of a snow burst here. By the time Saturday comes around, take a look at this. Here's our Saturday clipper. That looks like it could produce another inch or two out of this as well. And so you see it move on through, and then again, by the time we get into next week, here we are by Tuesday, we got some more snow showers around the area. And once again, here on Wednesday night into Thursday, you've got more snow showers around in the area. And then once you get past that, again, what are you seeing? In addition to the cold pattern that I'm about to show you, you're seeing more snow showers, just like I showed you yesterday. This one could be a little grazing clip of some decent snow. By the time you get into these greens, you're talking 2 or 3 inches of snow most likely. And so, here we are on Sunday, the 26th of January at 7 p.m. That's what this 0Z on the 27th means. So, you're talking on Sunday the 26th, that potentially a little decent shot of a little burst of snow with more of the heavier snows toward Kentucky. You pan that out a little bit further as you go through here, and what you're seeing is a rather significant snowstorm coming up for the 31st of January. So as we end the month, we could end the month on a bang, and we'll talk about the below zero temperature potential in a minute, but that's partially why, because we've got so many chances for snow as you go throughout this. And if you were to just take a look at this particular snow system, it would be pretty impressive. Again, if I just show you the snow accumulation totals really through that time, you're talking about, really this orange down in here is 9. You're talking 10, 12 inches of snow accumulated during this time. And so this would take into account really the couple of inches that we have in this next few snows. So, but you're talking again probably a 6 to 10 inch snowstorm with this, if this were to verify. But again, as I always say, take everything with a grain of salt. Why? Because this was the model run this morning of the GFS. Let me show you the model run this afternoon of the GFS, and it's way different. Notice the storm is still in the area, but take a look at timing. Here's about the equivalent of where that low would be somewhat positioned at. But notice we're at Friday, 12Z on the 31st of January. 12Z is 7 a.m. Now look here. in this pretty much the same position. It's 18Z on the 30th, so that's 1 p.m. on the 30th. Well, does it move through? This is really 12 hours, speeding up things by about 12 hours. Also notice that we're in the warm sector with this. You've got the 540 thickness line, this first blue line. Remember, that's the rain-snow changeover line up into northern Indiana. With the previous run, it was way down here, and we were getting a pretty heavy wet snow out of this. So major snowstorm, no snowstorm at all in one model run to the next. Again, whenever it's this far out, we look for the pattern, not necessarily the specifics. The pattern is we're going to look for a fairly healthy storm system in the month. But what we've got working against us is essentially you have a jet stream that's sort of dipping down like this, and you've got a low pressure that's going to be forming up in here, pumping that Gulf moisture up. Where does it intersect and who wins? Does the jet stream win out whenever it brings the cold air in, or does the warmth from the south and the moisture being pulled in win out? Because that's really going to determine who ends up with the snow. And we've been in that setup before. In fact, if you remember this last snowstorm that we had, where the models performed absolutely poorly, and it looked like we were going to get a 6 to 12 inch snow potentially over southern Indiana, and then even 24 hours before the event it looked that way, and then all of a sudden, bam! It's like, where did it go? 12 hours before the event, it was showing almost nothing for us, and then it ended up being mostly rain. Well, why is that? It's because we had this type of a setup. The jet stream was moving down like this. We had warmth coming up from the south, and the warmth won. So what's it going to be? Is it going to be a major snowstorm? Is it going to be a rain type of scenario? That's also going to bring a big difference in our temperatures as well. So, it's just something that we're going to have to watch. But the pattern is, near the end of the month, we've got a big storm that we're going to watch, and we'll just have to keep an eye on it from there. We could end up with a mega snowstorm like this, or it could end up with rain and washing everything that we've got on the ground away. Stay tuned and we'll see. All right, the last thing that we want to talk about for sure is the temperatures that we're going to have, because it looks like we're going to be in store for some bitter cold temperatures. Let's just really start to pan everything out here. Let's start off by going into Monday's temperatures, because really Monday night into Tuesday is where we start down with this cold trend. It looks like we're going to be in a cold trend for quite a long while. As you wake up on Tuesday morning, the GFS has us down to 11 and 15 and even into single digits up in here, so very cold temperatures for us here over Indiana. As you put this into motion, unfortunately, what you find in the GFS is no relief in sight for temperatures. In fact, you see below zero temperatures by Wednesday of next week start to invade to our north, and then unfortunately you start to see those invade again and even start to spill down somewhat into our area as you go through in time. And then watch what happens as we go into late next week. Here we are by Sunday, which would be a week from this Sunday. Here we are by Monday the 27th, and it's got us for a morning low on Monday the 27th, if I can get it back here for you again. It's got us at a morning low of 10 below zero here in southwest Indiana. So ridiculously cold, and this is on par to be even colder than that first big below zero temperature streak that we had coming up. And unfortunately, you remember we had some decent moderate temperatures, and all of a sudden it was a major cool down, and we started to warm up after that. Unfortunately, by the time you get to here, you've had about 5-6 days worth of already bitter cold temperatures, where you're talking lows in the low teens and single digits, and then you go below zero. And then as you keep this in motion, what you're seeing here is on Tuesday we stay below zero for a high, double digits below zero for a high, according to this thing, if you believe it at this point. And then the low temperatures, just watch how they spread east. I mean, half the country, just half of the eastern part of the country is absolutely engulfed by this major bitter cold blast. And then unfortunately you see that they stick around here even by the time we're at Wednesday morning. We're at a third straight day of below zero temperatures, and then we moderate back a little bit by Friday, but up to 13. That's stinking cold again for a high. So, and then by the time you come into Saturday, which is as far as the GFS sees out, you've still got an 8 below temperature. So we've got a lot of cold blasts that we can continue with. And just real quickly, the Euro doesn't see quite out as far, but what it does see out at as far as it will go, you see those below zero temperatures creeping in. So the Euro is starting to come into a decent degree, a bit of alignment with us as well. And you actually just wanted to show you this as well, but you see those bitter cold temperatures, if I can get them back here. It has them on differing days depending on what it does, but the idea, even here on the Canadian, is bitter cold temperatures. If you go to southernindianaweather.com, you can get my updated 7-day forecast, and it's going to be cold. Enjoy Monday because it'll be the last warm day we have. Really, Tuesday starts that bitter cold down, and then it's going to be all down here from there, folks. So I'll have more updates to come on this. For Southern Indiana Weather, I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite.